It's so darn true. You got to be gentle. I mean, you know, we can take our grandpa story too far. We have to be gentle as leaders as well. So purposeful leaders do these things right here. They discover and shape. They discover that moral purpose. And if somebody doesn't understand the moral purpose, they shape it. And they shape it towards the greater good and the best of children. Whatever that moral purpose is, they cultivate that thing. They cultivate it into your culture, that shared sense of moral purpose. People need to know why they're doing it. And once they know the why behind it, it's much easier to have them to do what you need them to do, all the little management pieces of a school. Ingrain it into your operational systems and protect it. So, a purposeful leader is ethical. It has been said once that the message, you won't believe the message until you believe the messenger. Do you agree? So if you're duplicitous and the leader is at one point angry and then another point very happy and a little bit bipolar-ish, it becomes hard to believe that messenger. Then you won't believe the message. So that ethical piece is so critical for us. As we have the ethics throughout our persona, now we can articulate that clear vision and they'll start to believe us. And it starts to motivate them in the direction of the shared moral purpose. A purposeful leader also expresses this: great empathy and consideration for the individualness of our faculty. Some of our faculty do struggle, and they struggle with personal stuff at home. They struggle with financial issues. They struggle with child issues. They struggle with health, with marriages. And we need to be empathic to that and understand the emotions of our campus as well. We need to be able to coach authentically. One thing that in the military, and some of you that were in the military before, and we were grunting it out in the jungles of Guam or Panama or somewhere, and we'd get a leader come in who was fresh out of ROTC or something. I'm not going to follow that guy. He's never got his boots dirty. So if you get a leader who's never been in a classroom, that's a tough one. You've never been in my spot. You don't know what it's like. So that's a harder thing. So this authentic leadership, you need to be able to coach them from their perspective, that you've been there and you know what's going on. Courage, exhibit that courage to see really what's going on, to see who the rumor mongers are, and no matter if you're afraid of them or not, to call them on the carpet in your office and tell them what's going on and how it needs to be, to protect it. And then face the reality. Sometimes in our schools, we want to look good so badly that we begin to pretend a little bit, that things are better than they really are, and we know it. Because I've been in the situation as well, and I'm painting this great picture for parents and stuff, and I'm going, well, actually, not really. It's not quite like that, but it sounds really good because I really need all these students here. But if I painted an absolute picture, it might not sound that well. But we have to be able to know the reality of our organization through data and have the courage to face it. What happens if we have leadership alone? If I've got my visionary clarity, I'm able to strike up the vision and sink it deep into their hearts. I'm able to really understand the emotions of my campus. I'm able to really be a good coach and coach them in behavior and instructional strategies and all that kind of stuff. And I'm courageous in looking at reality. But if I have no management piece in there to manage the pieces and the parts and the day-to-day, what happen to me might happen to you. I get so caught up in the thin of thick things. I get so caught up putting out fires that I'd never have time to be a leader. Does that ever happen to anybody else? I hated that. I really did. I didn't like it when I'd get 2 or 3 students every day at lunch. So that shot an hour or an hour and a half of my time after lunch when I really should be leading the school, surfing the building, in and out of classrooms, hugging kids, giving a thumbs up to teachers, writing little love notes on the teachers' screens, and things like that, leading the school. You get caught up in the thin of thick things. So what we need to do is have the organization as well. So I think this quote's in there, isn't it? Genuine leadership comes from that quality of your vision, your ability to spark others to extraordinary performance. Jack Welch.